So this is a piece of wide grain Western red cedar. It is 1.5 inches thick by 10 inches wide by 16 inches tall. So you could definitely go to the hardware store, go to the construction site, find a 1x10 and cut it up and make something like this. Or you could even use a fence board. This would be known as a 2D carving. This is going to be a 2D Steampunk Owl. What you saw in the beginning of this video is just cutting my outside of my frame, the depth there, all the way around, and removing some of the wood. And tomorrow I'm going to draw on my owl, and I'm going to carve an owl, then we're going to make it a steampunk owl. All right, it's now the next morning. Now, some of you might say, Jordy, you're so lucky you always got soft wood to carve. Well, some people have actually made some comments on some of my past videos. Like, why don't I ever carve hardwood? Well, to tell you the truth, for all those saying, why do I always carve softwood? Just because this is a soft piece of Western red cedar doesn't mean it's easy to carve. It's actually kind of soft and a little bit, not mushy, but you see those black lines there up there? The grains? Well, where it's black, it's hard, and the white stuff is soft. And this isn't the easiest piece of wood to carve, actually. To tell you the truth, it's a shitty piece of wood to carve. So I'd much rather have a piece of hardwood to carve and do this. Get way better detail. But while I sit here and drink my morning coffee, I downloaded some pictures of owls last night. Some of them are EI. Just to show you guys an idea of steampunk owls. They can be whatever you want them to be. But I really need to wake up. So it's a quick voiceover. You can see that one has a jean jacket on. This one's pretty cool. It's all gears. It's standing on gears. This looks like this one's full metal. This one is AI or whatever it's called. EI. This one's EI. All the clocks on it. This one's wearing a hat with a leaf in it. That's like a real one, I think. Looks like it's metal. Another top hat. Look at this one's wearing shoes. So there you go. This one's wearing shoes too, and it has a backpack. Red gem as eyes. Full metal one, see saw blades. Lots of clocks on the owls. Full metal. There's silly little ones too, right? Like with the gears. It can be the most simple owl you've ever seen in your life. Just carve a quick little owl and put some gears in it and call her done. But you should try harder. So it's got a scrap piece of paper here. I want to draw out a few different owls. So this would be the head here. You know, the beak right here. You can make it like a really leaning owl. You can even put some legs in there, talons if you want, and your wing here. Eyes. You can make it. This is a side view where it's looking over the wing. You could also make it like, I don't know, a fat fluffer owl. So, have some talons there. You don't have to have the legs with talons. You can just make it so it's total comfy in its nest or whatever. See how this one's more leading? This one's fatter, or front view. Most people that carve the owls carve the face so it's turned and it overlooks the wing. That way you can see more detail with the wing and stuff like that. Or this would be like a front view owl kind of. Really fat one with his wings up here. Then you got the owl things. There's talons here. I think we're going to go for the center one because, well, I'll explain in a minute. So you can see here's the whole piece. Why I want to use this center one, because the bigger that I make the owl inside here, the less background I have to carve deeper. So let's see here. I'm just going to start off with a smaller pen first, make sure this is on camera. So this would be let's try and get up as high as we can. The owl head. make it so we don't even have to carve any of this wood away here for the background. Owl head. That kind of looks like it should go that way. Well, that's a pretty fat owl. So let's go with that. Head here. And then like this. See? And then still looks like it should be going that way, but I want to make it this way. So his wing would be over here. I guess it's too fat. We have to kind of just tone it down a bit. That's good. Because the closer you can get the belly to the side and the head to the side, let's just make the head a little bit bigger here. The least amount of background you have to carve, because I have to carve all around this owl deeper. And the deeper that you carve it along the line, the deeper, the more work it takes to carve all this wood away. So, yeah, this is going to be fat one. So you'd have his eyes right up in here somewhere. It's kind of, because normally this owl should be like this. You see? Leaning back, like the first picture. Oh boy. No, I had to make it like more like this one. It just wasn't making sense the other way. It's a mental thing. It's a mental block. You know, we all got them. So you guys do your owl however you want to do it. So now I got to get a burr and cut around this line here, right? All around that line, and then remove the wood in the background. Like I said, the deeper that you cut this line means the more you got to remove. And this is not the fun part of this process, is removing the background wood. It kind of, well, to be honest, it kind of sucks, but you just got to get it done to get this owl to pop off the piece. Okay. I'll be cutting on the outside of the line with this Kutzall Extreme Taper Burr. Then I'll be switching to the Kutzall Extreme Flame Burr to remove the wood. Cut line, remove the wood. Alright, so I got all the background cut away. I give it a little bit of an undercut. I still have lots more room to take off. You can see here I did give it a little slope, but I made it a little bit fat too. I gave it the slope because I want to do some talons down here for this Steampunk Owl. Now, you know, on every single video that I have made to date, it's my mind, not your mind. It's just me trying to show you guys how I think, which doesn't make sense really. But with all these scribbles on here, the owl doesn't look proportionate to me. It's kind of bugging me when I sit here, drink coffee, and look at it. It's just doesn't seem like it's right to me. So maybe it's better for me to remove all these pen marks on here. then draw it on with a clean slate. Does that make sense? Scribble, scribble, scribble. Okay, so I redrew his beak thing on there and his eyes, and there's his wing. Good enough. So now I got all this wood. So for the very beginners, if you count these out, how it works. So the wing will be forward. This beak part will be forward, and all this here will be the background of it, right? So wing forward, this forward. So I got to remove lots of wood in here, right? So this would be 1, 1, 2, then the background would be number 3. Does that make sense? 1 being the closest. 1, 1, 2, and the background 3. And this frame would be 1 because it's 6. Well, so I've been wood carving for 7, 8 years now. This piece of wood is absolutely terrible to Dremel carve. I'm not going to get into it, but like I talked about earlier, the dark spots in between there is super soft. I don't know if you're going to be able to see the bumps on here, but yeah, it just takes a lot more effort. And I'm not complaining because I have enough experience working with cedar and different types of wood that are local to me. I should have known that this is going to be a terrible piece of wood to Dremel carve. Does that make sense? So the more experience that you get carving different woods that are local to you, that are native to you, the more experience you're going to get of knowing what wood to carve and what wood not to carve. This grain is just too wide. You can see this line right here. That's how fast that tree grew in a year. Anyways, we got our shape of our owl now. Am I happy with it? Yeah, it's all right. Now we got to draw on the parts for the wings and the eyes, and in here too. Now I got to remember when I'm drawing this on that this is going to be a steampunk piece, so I got to pay attention to that. Good lighting here. So my last, this microphone turned on? Yeah, it is. Should be. My last wood spirit steampunk guy had a lot of gears inside of it, so we're going to kind of try and tone this one down a bit. First of all, I'm going to use, this is a thicker pen, I'm going to use a thinner pen to draw my line. So steampunk, for this one, I kind of want the, let's see here, this is just your standard, this isn't a real owl's wing pattern, but this is kind of your standard one that most chainsaw carvers do. We can even have it like that, and then you could bring your big wing feather things down here. Then on this one would go, how would it work? Like this? No, like this. All right, so I'll cut those in, but where does the wing attach to the body? I know this kind of cheek looks, I'll fix that up later. Where does this wing attach to the body of the owl? So let's just say right in here, we're gonna leave that edge, some thickness there. We're going to carve a hollow spot in here to put some gears in there. So I'm just going to use those cheap Amazon gears too. And this will make this a normal eye. And we'll do our fluff thing down here. Well, we might as well draw this one on. Try and draw them on the same. And your eye. So this one will make, so like there's, I'll probably just make this all gears in here. And then I might use one gear in the center here. Now for this part, and we'll make it look like this is his forehead in here. Does that make sense to you? Then this will be, you could make this just quick carved feathers. The background, I think I'll do what's called stippling. I don't know if that's the proper name, but you just get a round burr like this. Just carve a bunch of dots in there. This piece would be awesome for Show Susie Ban, where you burn the wood and get the grain to pop, but we're not going to worry about that this time. So let's just start carving this stuff out. I don't want to spend too long carving on these videos because, well, I just end up talking so much on my videos. I don't know. What do you guys think? More carving, less talking? Kind of sometimes, because I know when I'm kind of watching YouTube videos and people are carving, I kind of just get bored watching it unless I'm really trying to learn something. So I got to carve, make these eyes pop out, and I got to carve like so. Cut on this line here, then remove the wood all down in here. Take it down farther, make these wings pop out a bit farther. See, there's not much depth here. This is a 2D carving, right? Carry on. One thing I will say about if I carve more depth, because I got to carve this in, I don't really have enough depth right here. I got to carve deeper around the wing. And one thing I will say about owls and eagles, when I carve in here to give this wing more depth, make it pop out more, I got to remove all this wood. You don't want this wood to be higher than sink in there. It looks funny. You got to, and again, this is my opinion. You could do it if you want, but I'm telling you, take all this wood away too and make it round off. Don't make it so it's like, don't make it so it's like this. Just take it all the way, make it flat, then round, make it round over to this edge here. Sometimes I'm telling you, trying to explain things, and what am I thinking? Now, wood carving is just like anything else in life. The more that you do it, the more you learn what better tools to use. For example, wood carving, what burs to use for different types of wood. Normally, I know I'm getting ahead of myself. Normally, I would use this aluminum cutting bit here. See, it's a, whatever, it's a thing with the cutter on the, zoom in, with the cutter on the bottom. But this is a really aggressive burr. This works, these aluminum cutters work great for hardwood. For all you around the world that can't get the Kutzalls, these are great burrs, these aluminum cutters, but don't be mistaken for the metal cutters. For these are different. Aluminum cutters and metal cutters are different. Metal cutters, the flutes aren't so big and they're not so aggressive. Now, I found this burr set once in a million years. I bought on Amazon. So let me pull these out of here. Come on. How professional videos I make. Now you can see, look here, right where my finger is. There's a little cylinder burr. There's two, a really small cylinder burr here. There's another small cylinder burr. Go over here. There's a big one and there's a medium one. Now these don't cut. These burrs are kind of cheap. Knockoff aluminum cutting burrs. I don't have the Amazon link for these, but if you want to take a screenshot, you can see the different sizes. And they're gold plated or brass plated or whatever you say. But I think I'm going to start off trying to use this one right here, the second one in. To now I got to cut all the textures in here on the feathers, up in here, on the forehead with this. I'm going to try it with this burr. I can't use this aluminum cutting burr because this will dig into that friggin' wood like a hot knife in butter. Yeah. So let's try this one. And another thing why this set's good too, it's got the small little cutters on it. So when you don't have undercuts, let me get the camera in the overhead. Like, I'm not going to lie, on this video, on this one, I didn't do undercuts. Like, there should be an undercut underneath this owl on this whole side, but I didn't do that. Now you can see by not having an undercut, see how I did this stippling or whatever it's called in the background? I used two different sizes. But you see how it's riding up the owl like that? That's no good. This is why undercuts help so much. So I'm going to have to carve that off. I forget what I was going to say. Oh yeah. So when you don't have undercuts in your piece, and you have two different cylinder burrs like this, sizes like this, you can pretend we're doing this background here. Okay, pretend this is
not stippled or whatever it's called. And we're going to put lines in here. And you can't really get too close to the side of the owl with this piece, right? Because it will ride up the owl. Well, then you could hook up this little burr, and then you can get right nice and tight beside it. So it doesn't even, it looks like it's an undercut, but it's not, if that makes sense to you. So this is a good, this is the second set of these I've had. David Grass, Mr. Kicking-Ass Grass, bought me a set of these before. So they're really good to have, these little things. So anyways, what I got to do is, and this one here kind of looks like the Dremel 125 bit that burns the wood at the same time. Now, when you're using that Dremel 125 bit, it doesn't burn the wood very well when you have it in your flex shaft because there's too much resistance. When you're trying to burn the wood and carve the wood at the same time with that Dremel 125 bit, put it directly into your Dremel flex shaft, into your Dremel with no flex shaft, then it will burn the wood. Shout out to Dr. Lupo. This burr here, this is taper burr. It's a reverse, like a cone. This is Kutzall. Now, when I'm trying to get into areas like this and smooth it out, see how deep it is in there? I just use this burr and it's good. And you see how it flares out like this on the bottom? So when you're doing inside here, it also gives you undercut at the same time, like I did with this eye. I use this piece in here, this eye, and then in here too. See? Typhoon Fordham burrs. This is probably, I probably have this burr from when I started wood carving with the Dremel. This is a old Typhoon burr, but it's flat. It's a cylinder type burr too. It once upon a time had cutters on the bottom, but it's just so dead. But something like this would be good too, to get in there and make everything flat. Even the aluminum cutting burrs, like this one's kind of worn out here, but this one has the cutter on the bottom. You could use this and get it nice and flat inside there. So the cylinder type burrs are handy, but this burr is super handy. I don't use this that often, but it does come in handy when I need it. This is an extreme. I wish I had the silver one. It's not so aggressive, but this is a really handy burr to have when you're trying to get in there and pull things out, make it a flat surface on the inside, because it gives you the undercut, like I said, at the same time. So let's just run this. So up here, you know, that's, you don't want to make it up and down this way to match these. You want to go crossways like this. And this is just my opinion. You don't have to. This is just your standard quick wood carving template. You usually have like one thing here and two of these small ones, then your big feather things down here. But I'm not going to turn on the fan. Let's just try this out. That small one, I can get inside this tight spot and just do little cuts in there. I know your owl feathers should probably go this way, not this way, but whatever. It's friggin' fantasy thing. Steam owl. All right, so I think we're pretty well going on point here. You can see that this eye is more square than this eye is more rounded. Well, I wanted to make it more square because it's more robotic here. For these, where I cut in deep there, I gave them deep undercuts in there to slide the gears in. And sometimes you have to get your little metal cutter and cut the gears to make them look like they carry on. Undercuts, excuse me, they're so big in wood carving because you carry on underneath, so it doesn't look like they just start right here and they come out. Like it looks like they go on up under here and up under there, and they're all the way under, right? So I had a little couple sips of coffee, and I was thinking, what's my next move? I was thinking, oh man, I don't have any of that poly shade, Minwax poly shade here that I normally like to use. I don't really feel like going to the store and buying some. maybe I'll just dilute some paint and put some, maybe I'll make the sky black with some black diluted paint with water, make that black and this brown. And then I was thinking that for this outside, I'll show Susie Bannet, let's burn it deep with a little butane torch and do that. But you guys can see there's a crack right here. This wood's pretty dry. It's a little bit wet, but there's a crack right here. If you're going to burn it, this crack will open up a lot more, I think. Not too sure on this piece, but anyways, should I take it outside and burn it? Yeah, I got this little butane torch. I think I'll take it outside and burn it. Good thing I got another full can of butane yesterday. So when I took it outside burning it, I really felt the wood cracking because it was. I put it in my hand. You can see the crack opened up. Well, the crack opened up down there, and that one up there. So I just said, you know what? I'll just burn it it's odd numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Burn the frame a little bit. Now I'm slow down, Jordy. Now I got a Scotch Brite sanding mandrel here. All right, I'm going to Scotch Brite this with my Dremel. Then I'm going to run around and sand it with this sanding mandrel. And then I'm going to paint. I got some black paint diluted with water. I'm going to put that around here. And I still haven't decided what I'm going to do, what color I'm going to make the owl yet. Excuse me. Man, this has to be one of the shittiest pieces of cedar I've ever carved. But I don't care how good the frame is. You might see some cut marks on it. I might calm down after and sand it a bit more. Anyways, here's just the watered down black acrylic paint. And this is when you put some tunes on, have a good time. I forgot to put my microphone in. Hey, Just Carve Rob, you got a heat gun like this? Old antique. Yep. Sandpaper. All right, so the struggle has been real with this piece of cedar. That brown owl, I got some dollar store brown, what's this, burnt umber. I mixed a little bit of black in there with the touch of red. I don't know if the red, it's just my artistic. I have to have some red in the piece. Anyways, I saved myself a trip to the store. I saved myself $40 by doing it with paint. And you see how I scuffed it up after? Now, I just want to give a positive word to the very beginning carvers or artists. Don't think like right now this is just, it's all right. Don't think that you can't do something like this but your own style. Just, you just got to realize when you're doing it, even though you're stressing out, that it's not going to look like mine. It's not going to look like anybody else's. It's going to look like yours. Even though you're stressing out when you're doing it, in the long run, it's going to get done. And I want to say one thing 1,000,000%. I love seeing the very beginning carvings for these challenges. So don't be embarrassed to do something and not send it to me. On the very first video, you get all the information how to the challenge. Very first, I get a wood spirit thing. You get all the information how to enter. The contest ends August 13th. If you want to chip in, how to chip in. Don't give up. Just keep going. And like I said, I do not judge. So send me your picture, even if you're embarrassed about it. I do not care, and you should not care. For me, send it in. So there's still lots more to go. One thing I want to say is like, this drives me nuts. See this straight line right here? There's no holes in there. See, there's a little bit right there. That drives me nuts. And once again, I talk about the undercut. If I would have undercut this piece alongside that owl there, it would have saved me a whole bunch of time afterwards. So do the undercuts when you're doing it, because you'll save yourself time for the afterwards. Anyways, I'm going to recarve some holes here to get rid of that straight line. I still got some paint mixed up here. I got a full coffee. Then I'm going to give it a couple coats of this Rust-Oleum or whatever it's called, clear satin. Hi, Glenn. There's the French side. Glenn's out there in Quebec. The satin clear. They're going to give it two or three good coats. Then we'll talk about putting the gears in and making this sucker come alive for the Steampunk Challenge. And just carve, Rob. It's all your fault. See, look, it's you. It's your fault. All this stuff, steampunk stuff. All right, it's been about an hour since I sprayed it. I just gave it one thick coat. I can give it some more coats later. So for the steampunk part, this is where you can really start having fun, being creative. If you got any old stuff like this kicking around, old rusty nuts and bolts. Here's some gears that I got from my cousin Marky. He used to work at an old cedar sawmill. I did go to, like I said on my last video, I did go to Home Depot, spent $10 on junk like this, but stuff like this. It's super glue on my fingers. Yeah, this is super glue time. You got little things like this. Just lots of little knickknacks. So maybe you don't have some. Maybe you don't have rusty things around. Maybe you don't have these stuff lying around, but maybe one of your buddies does or your neighbor does. Grandpa, grandma, like I said on my last video. So like these gears here, let's see. Let me see. Maybe if you got one like this, where's the washer for it? Let me put the camera in the overhead. All right, so here's the gear and the washer that comes with it. So that would make a pretty neat owl eye. Just super glue these together. That's pretty neat. Or I have these. This is some abalone stuff from a really old store on Vancouver Island. It was actually, they sold whale teeth, actually. That's how old it was. But you get little things like this. These are like old, I don't know what kind of shell these come from, but they come from a seashell. They look like eyes. So, well, you can do something like this. Just super glue it all in together. Or, you could get the piece of abalone or whatever you got around. You could put that on there. Where's that one here? This is just when you want to have fun. Put that piece of abalone shell on there. Or you could Here's this one. You can just get these are the gears that you get on Amazon. I shared the link below on my last video, but I'll share the link again on this video. You can put a little gear on there like that. That could be an owl eye. Or you can get one like this that has a little clock on it that I already got together. So, anyways, or you can get a washer. This is a Home Depot washer, and I glued that onto the back. So you get an owl eye effect there too. And you can put that, if you want to put the abalone shell there, you can put the abalone shell on top there. You can do whatever you want to do. Now, I think it's good to kind of have it planned out when you're doing it. So I kind of had this one eye planned out. So let's just not waste any more time. So this one eye here, I already had it measured. So there'd be one like that. Let's see that. That looks pretty neat. But now we got to get that out of there. Try the other ones. Stand by. Anyways, let's look at this. There's this one. Come on, get out of there. Okay, so there's that one, number one. Where's the other one? There's this clock one. That one's pretty neat actually too. That looks like a sun. Let's just look at it for a minute. Now where's that funny eye one that I had? Oh man. This is what happens. Stand by. Or here's this funny. My buddy Stuart gave these to me. But there's that funny eye one. You're the artist. You decide. You guys aren't here for me to ask you which one looks best. But I kind of like this clock one. So let's get that out of here. Put the clock one back in. Yeah, I think that's a winner. So these are the gears that I got left from Amazon. I ordered another package, but they're not going to be here for a couple days, so maybe I got enough to work with here. So now I'm going to get these gears inside here and there. Stuff like this, you can just save this for another project. Maybe like this might be good for an octopus or something. I am going to be carving a huge octopus this spring or summer whenever I get to it. I don't know. All right, so we got this one chosen. Now, we don't have to stick with this one. We could always choose another one. Now, these little gears, I'll show you about the undercut. So, see how I did the undercut there? So, it looks like it's carrying on. So, that's good. I can just glue that in there the way it is. Let's see the undercut all the way up there. See how it goes underneath? So, it looks like it's carrying on from out there. Now, you can strategically place these, but I'm just going to, well, I guess I'll take my time. There's no rush. I get, put that one, let's start off with this one here. And all I do is I got this CA glue. This is the STARBOND stuff. There's a link below this video. I'm affiliate of theirs, but whatever. You'll save yourself 10% if you use the link. But this is thin. They got little tiny things for these. Like this little thing comes separate. They give you like 10 of them when you buy one of these bottles. But I'm just going to, is that right? What's going on here? Oh, that doesn't look right. Let's go like this. That's better. I just kind of put it in there and drop it in the corner. And that will glue up. Now, I don't want to use the accelerator with this because sometimes the accelerator makes it bubble up. The last one I did, I tried to link all the gears together. Like, so they were working together, but I'm not going to do that with this one. I'm just going to get these things in. Let's see here. Here's a fruity little heart one. put that hard upside down in there. Probably best to use a little screwdriver or something so you don't be a Geordie and get super glue all over your hands. Oops. And we'll just keep on carrying on. See how the undercut works there? I know I talk about the undercut all the time, but I think it's just I think it's good to have. Here's a gold one. I don't have too many gold ones left. Was this kind of, I don't know, just make it work. Undercut. Once you start doing the undercuts, your wood carving game will, I think, probably. Here's just a nut from a clock. Let's put that right there. But let me see here. That one fits pretty good right there. All right, so I'll get all these in, and then we'll be back. So one thing I say I always struggle with is getting the eyes the same height. Now, if you look at the right eye, it's higher. When I put this right eye in, I had this piece laying down, and I swear I had to redo it 3 times to get it perfect. But then once I put it up like this, it's not perfect. It's not perfect because I realized the piece is going to hang like this. Like, not like this, but like this. So that's more perfect. Anyways, and it's a little bit smaller than this one, but that's all right. There's the gears in there. I ran out of gears. I had none left. So that's how much gears I get from buying 2 packages from the Amazon, 2 different ones. So now, what would this make a good thing for this carving? I think it would make a killer steam-bought Talon. Old saw cutter. All right, I had already carved a spot to dig it in there. Now, this is epoxy sculpt. This is cheaper stuff that I found on Amazon in the USA. I don't think you can get this stuff in Canada. I'm in Canada, but I have an Amazon.com store too. And I was able to buy this from you guys buying stuff from my Amazon store from a gift certificate. Now, this is epoxy sculpt. It's 1-to-1, so this is like a paste. It's like Play-Doh. This stuff's a lot softer than that. The other stuff is spelled Apoxy. This stuff is cheaper, and the containers are a lot bigger too. So you can weigh out each side, but I don't know. Actually, I don't know if it's weight or just I get a bowl of the same size and I mix it up. Really good. Then I'm going to put this in there. I might have to paint it. I just want a little bit of that talon to stick out there, just to give it some more character. We're still far from done on this. So yeah, you just get 2 clumps the same size and you mend it all together. I think this is supposed to be black. This will come out, or maybe gray. But make sure you mix it good so you don't see, like, see how you see the white and the black there? Make sure it's all a consistent color. I don't know how, I didn't read how long. This is 36 ounces, 10, 20 milligrams. I didn't read how long it takes to cure. Wet your hands before. You can wet your hands too to make it smooth and stuff. You can absolutely carve this stuff. So yeah, this stuff's turning black. That's good. Storage. Let's see, caution, guarantee. 24 hours to reach maximum hardness, color, then paint. Well, I'm not waiting 24 hours, but keep mixing it. If you think it's mixed good enough, keep mixing it. This stuff makes for a great, you can get it so it's gray or white. I like the black stuff. But Yeah, you can, whatever. Now we'll just take off a little piece and ram it in there. Maybe not that much. I can't really see what's going on here filming. So I'm just going to put it in there like that. I only want a little bit of that talon to stick out, not much. And then you just get a little thing. Where's a little tip of a paintbrush, and you can just quickly texture it. Just 1 sec. Now don't forget I did paint this part brown, so I'll have to repaint that once it's cured, but you can texture it. So that's good. Now I'm not going to probably make this video. I'm not waiting 24 hours before I paint this. You guys will have to look at it when it's black like this. That's all right. This stuff is super handy. Okay. Okay, there's just a silly little talon. I don't care. It's not dry yet. I'm painting it now. Come on, zoom in. There you go. Woo! I do got this extra clump. I'll keep this around and see how fast it actually cures and then what it's like to carve, but I'm sure it's just like the other stuff. It's cheaper. And softer. A lot more. Malleable. Now, you don't have to tell me that little talon's silly down there. But it works. Now, let's talk about gold leafing. Oh, I got gold leafing. I got all the colors you want. I got gold. I got red. I got silver. I got copper. I got more silver. I got more gold. More red. More gold. Yeah, I'm crazy when it comes to this stuff. What color is this? I just don't know. Anyways, what color is a good color to do some gold? Oh, here's the copper right there. Yeah, look at this color. Come on, get off of there. This color? Or is that gold? No, that's copper. We got to do its beak at least. But we got this stuff with the twisty. There's like carving fusion stuff in there. Could use this stuff. Well, there is gold, there's silver, there's copper in there, more dull, rusty silver. Same with down there, silver down there. This has all those colors. I think some blue and red in it too. Gotta sneeze. So this is like gold and, come on. Does this owl have the golden beak? Or a copper beak? I just don't know. How about a red beak? I love this red stuff. When you put the black over it, looks awesome. Red? Nah. I think I'm going to go with the silver. Yeah, silver beak. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So this is the Gilding adhesive set. I don't know if I have any glue left in here. This is the Gilding water-based. Is this? Yeah, this is the #1 stuff. Oh, can I even open that? Oh, I think I'm going to have to cut her open. You could just use like, I've used Mod Podge before too. That works, or glue, or just normal, like glue. Let's see. No, she's going to have to get. There we go. I'm getting it. Wasting your guys' time. I don't need to show this crap on videos. Yeah, we got some glue in there. So you put this on. Now, my problem with this is I'm so impatient. You got to really let this glue like get tacky before you go to put the silver on, or whatever color you want to put on it. I should have mixed it up a bit. Let me mix this up a bit. All right. Oops. It's okay. We're going to put some. So I'm going to get this brush. Now, you don't want to get where you don't want to put the stuff, or it will stick to it, and then you'll have. But I want to have some. Oh boy. Do I? Jordy, do you want to have some around the piece? Little patches of silver? Yeah, let's just kind of do a couple. Let's just put some silver around here. Some up here. No, I gotta. Oh man, this is where I kind of get stupid. I'm allowed to call myself stupid. I don't like the name stupid when somebody says, "Are you stupid?" Well, that's almost like fighting words to me. But so you just gotta. You stupid? Stupid is as stupid does. Now you gotta let this, like I said, you gotta let this glue get tacky. I'm getting carried away here. This could make or break the piece, actually. I don't know if that was a good idea or not. Anyways, do this up. But you have two things. You have the stuff, the glue, you gotta let it get tacky before you put the stuff on. Then you gotta let it really dry good. Anyway, we can get some of this stuff and just put it on down here. This is how I do it. This is going to make a big mess. And it's going to take a long time to clean it all up. But you know, I got this stuff lying around, so you might as well use her up. Let's get her on there. See all the super glue and all the glues. Don't be a Geordie. Anyways, I'm probably ruining the piece. But it's okay, because you know why? The bottom line is, like I say in lots of my videos, if you're having fun, who really cares? I don't even know if this other stuff's like the clear coat that I put on there, the spray. I don't even know if it's dry, so. Oh, the beak. Duh. It's not even. You can redo it again too, if it doesn't take very well. Anyways, I think that's enough of this monkey business. Oh, like, yeah. You can try to be like me if you want, but it doesn't work very good for me, so it probably won't work good for you. But maybe it will work better for you than it does for me. I can't help it. I get carried away. I probably wrecked this piece, but now I got to let it sit and dry for probably a day to let it, this stuff. You can get a cloth and push it on there too. All right, it's about 5 minutes later. I put this stuff, the glue on really thin around here, so it should be dry. So that you, oh no. They suggest like to get a big fluffy brush. This is as big as I got, so I'll be here all night taking this off because it shouldn't stick where there's not glue. You just gotta keep on going over it. Trust me, some spots will look like it's glued down. And this is messy, messy, messy. Once you get all the stuff off, it's all over your work desk and, well, it's everywhere. Now, see, this might look like it's all glued down here, but it's actually not. You got to keep on hitting it. Repetitive. You got to be repetitive. Kind of leave that beak alone because, well, oh yeah, this is a freaking nightmare. What was I thinking? See this. Anyways, I won't waste any more your excuse me, I won't waste any more of your people's time. I'll get all this done. And then we'll see how it looks. Maybe I'll put copper over the silver if the silver's too much. It's never over till you say it's over. So just have fun and like this one, don't shit the bed on this. Don't shit your pants. All right, I got the hanger on the back. I kind of made it lopsided so it will kind of tilt a little bit. Don't forget to sign your pieces, even if you don't like it. Still sign it. I found these little copper nails in my hanger things. I wonder if I could put those around the outside of it. Anyways, you guys think I ruined it putting the silver leaf on it? I'd love to hear your opinions. Now, after you do that, what's that? Silver leafing. There's a like this package comes with two parts: the gluing part, then a finishing part. So they say to put this on over top of the silver, and it will probably, I think it might tone down the silver a little bit. You guys think I ruined it by putting the silver leaf on it? Or one other thing I do want to suggest too is when you're doing a project like this and you're using different types of paint, always mix up extra paint and don't throw away your paint. Just keep it, push it off to the side, forget about it when you're working on the piece because you might need it. Because the silver somehow went on the side of the nose here and it went up the side inside. You can't see it, but went on the inside here, up the side. And all I did is just painted a nice sharp line across that beak. You don't even see that silver. Did I make it or did I break it? Let me get the other one that I did, the wood spirit one. Also, before I forget, now see how those eyes are equal? This thing's not sitting flat because there's a nail behind it that sticks out, so I can't make it sit flat. But now the eyes those are the best eyes I've done. Most squarest. Usually one's way too high or too low. So here's my first two steampunk pieces. Like this one, I know I kind of got carried away with the gears. This one, I got carried away with the silver. But I don't know. They both. This one is going to be in my bedroom till somebody wins it in August. Might smell like smoke when you get it, but anyways, maybe I'll put this one in my bedroom too. I think the silver's kind of growing on me. Anyways, everybody, I'd love to hear your comments. And these videos aren't to show, look what I can do, look what I can do. These videos are to give you ideas, help you open your mind, do different things. And don't forget, if you've never wood carved before, you have a chance of winning something in this challenge. Anybody is welcome to enter, especially the very beginners, people that have never carved a wood spirit, never carved an owl, never carved a skull. I think the next one I'm going to do is going to be half wood spirit, half skull kind of robot. The skull part is a tribute to Spike. Anyways, there's the owl just carved up. So I gave it a hit of this, and it toned the silver down a lot more. Now it kind of looks like it's all like just carved rub, so it looks like the paint's come off a bit. and it's weathered over years. That's kind of carving fusion style. Well, let's give you the side view. Got to finish the video off with the side view. Just carve Rob side profile view. This was probably the worst piece of wood I've ever carved. I'm not lying. Yeah, it was just terrible. But you know, like I've carved lots of bad wood. The more burrs that you have, the more like I said earlier, the more you carve your local wood, you know what burrs work and what burrs don't. Now this one's going to be a winner for somebody that chips in is going to be able to win this one. But I think if somebody wins this one, they can have the choice to win this or this. Now, if we get lots of chip-ins, and I don't expect lots because times are tough out there right now for everybody. So let's just hope that there is some. But anyways, you can choose between this or this. And if there is lots of chip-ins and extra money comes in, I'll donate this for a price too. So the next one, what I'm going to do tomorrow, I'm not carving tomorrow. I'm taking the day off. I might go beach combing. I'm going to my chainsaw tent. I'm cutting a nice piece of old Western red cedar, first growth with really tight grains, because my next one's going to be half wood spirit, half robot skull, steampunk, and I want to give it crazy details. It's hard to give these ones big details when you got the wide grains and stuff. Anyways, that's it. I'll quit babbling, and I hope everybody's doing good. Springtime's just around the corner, so if you want to learn about this, the challenge, just go to, I'll put this in a playlist. Just go look at the first video about the challenge with you'll see the picture with all the prizes in the background. Some of the prizes, it's going to be lots. As time goes on, more prizes will be donated too, from most likely me.